My name is Eryn. I'm from F Squared. And today I'm going to answer 25, hopefully, of the best icebreaker questions. Just because it's easy and I can just look them up on my phone and answer them. So we'll do that. So the first question, what was your first job? My first job was, I was in high school. This was between, I think, junior and senior year. And my first job was a stalker at an arts and crafts store. So my job was to work 4 hours a day. Can't remember how many days a week I worked. But I worked 4 hours at a time. And the majority of what I did was put Christmas ornaments on the hanging shelves and such. So that's what I did for the summer. And then I went into my senior year doing that a little bit too, and then had to quit the job because I had sports conflicts and stuff. But yeah, that was my first job. Have you ever met anyone famous? Yes, depends on how you define met. But my mother and I recently, this past Christmas, went to a supernatural convention where we got to meet, we got to do autographs with Jensen, Jared, Misha, Samantha Smith, Julian Richings, Kim Rhodes and Brianna Buckmaster, and a few others who are escaping my mind at the moment, but we did autographs with them, and it was, face-to-face autographs, so I guess technically I've met them because I've seen them in person. What are you reading right now? The Bible. I don't really read at all, which is funny because I have 4 books or so on my shelf that I got for graduating college that I should probably read, but I have yet to read them, so maybe we'll get to that. If you could pick up a new skill in an instant, what would it be? A new skill, probably to be able to touch my toes. I don't know why, but that's the first one that came to my mind. Because I'm unable to touch my toes at the moment. Because I'm not flexible that way. So yeah, more flexibility, I guess. Being able to touch my toes. Being able to do the splits would also be pretty cool. So maybe just in general, more flexibility. I don't know. I guess my legs, my hips. More flexibility in my hips. Yeah. Who's someone you really admire? I admire my older brother a lot because he's older than I am. He's actually the one who got me introduced to a lot of the stuff that I'm interested in and that I want to do. And he's just all around a good person, so I admire him. Seen any good movies lately you'd recommend? Lately? I actually haven't been to the movies all that often. The most recent movie that really sticks out in my brain that I have seen in the movie theaters is Top Gun Maverick. I know that one's been out for a while, but it's the one that sticks out in my brain at the moment, so Top Gun Maverick. And I would recommend that highly. It's a good movie. Got any favorite quotes? There's one from Mark Twain, which is, I think the quote goes, "The 2 most important days of my life are the day I was born and the day I found out why." I used that one as my senior quote in high school, and I actually heard it from the Flash TV show on the CW because I think it was it H.R. Wells who he had that quote on his tombstone, Spoilers. At the end of season 3. So, I like that quote. There's a few verses from the Bible that I really enjoy. The one that I keep putting, if you notice, the one that I keep putting in the description for all the videos is Psalm 19:21, I think. That's bad. I don't even know what verse it is. Anyways, I believe it is Psalm 19:21, and it says, what does it say? It says, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's plans that prevail. So I enjoy that one. That one's comforting. So yeah, we'll go with those two. Have you been pleasantly surprised by anything lately? I don't know, this next week in the job that I have currently, I'm doing something different than I have been doing for the past 4 weeks. So I'm hoping that it won't make me quite as tired as it has been making me. And I'm hoping to have a bit more time to do stuff like this, because I do have projects in mind that I really want to do, but it's been difficult because I'm working at a summer camp right now, and so I'm working all day outside in the sun wrangling children. And every time I've come home, it's just been I'm just dead tired whenever I come home. So it's been really difficult to record, but I'm hoping this next week, since I'm doing something different and not necessarily going to be working with kids, that I'll have more time, first of all, and not be quite as tired, so that I can do stuff like this. What was your favorite band 10 years ago? Let's see here. 10 years ago, I was a child. I'll let you do the math. I was 12 years old 10 years ago. So my favorite band probably would have been Switchfoot, because my older brother, I often got like hand-me-down deactivated phones from my older brother, and I got one from him that had music downloaded on it. And the majority of the music on it was Switchfoot, specifically the Vice Versa's album. So yeah, that's the band that I enjoy, that I was into 10 years ago. What's your earliest memory? Okay, I like to say that my earliest memory is I'm 4 years old and I'm waking up from a nap. And I know it's weird and I know it's not super specific, but I remember the bed that I had because it was, my gosh, been yelling and screaming at kids all week, so sorry if my voice is harsh. I remember my bed. It had pink sheets, pink comforter, pink everything, and it was like slightly elevated because there were drawers underneath it with clothes. And because I'm such a violent sleeper, apparently, my parents put like a guardrail on the edge of the bed. So it was up against the wall in the corner. So like the headboard was in the corner, and then the side of it was against the wall. So it was open on two sides, and we put like a guardrail on the long side to keep me from rolling out of my bed. And I remember the headrest, the head thing, the head of the bed had like shelves on it with stuffed animals in it, and I was weird about naps. I didn't necessarily sleep during naps, so I would often just play with my stuffed animals instead of sleep when I was supposed to be taking a nap. So that's my earliest memory is I distinctly remember I was 4 years old and I'm playing with stuffed animals while I'm supposed to be taking a nap in my very pink room with a guardrail to keep me from rolling off the bed. Been anywhere recently for the first time? First time? Not that I can think of. Okay, my brother and sister-in-law live in Kansas City, and we visited them for the first time in Kansas City because they've only been there about a year at this point. We visited them in Kansas City last Thanksgiving, so that may have been my first time to Kansas City, the first time that I remember being to Kansas City, at least. So, Kansas City? Oh, not true. The more recent one. Again, for the Supernatural Convention, it was in Nashville, and I had never been to Nashville before. So, that was my first time to Nashville. We didn't really see much of Nashville, because we were attending the convention the whole weekend. So, Nashville? What's your favorite family tradition? For New Year's, we generally choose either a genre or a series of movies to watch, usually starting around dinner time and then going until midnight. And then at midnight, we watch the ball drop, and then we finish our movies and then go to bed. And usually, you know, we have like junk food and my mom makes these like little mini pizzas, and they're so good. But yeah, just watching movies for like 6 hours or longer. I remember, I can't remember if this was when I was born, but my family did the Lord of the Rings series for a New Year's Day, and they literally had to start early in the morning to get through all of that. So yeah, I think that's my favorite family tradition. Who had the most influence on you growing up? My older brother. He's almost 9 years older than I am, so, you know, I was born and he was always there in my life. Always present, always, you know, interested in my life, always speaking into my life. So my older brother, besides, you know, my parents, because they were also there. What was the first thing you bought with your own money? The first thing I bought? It was probably just like a soda or something. No. I got it. I was given an allowance in middle school. And the first thing I bought with it was a used version of Uncharted, on the Uncharted 2, specifically on the PS3, because my brother had a PS3 and it came with the first Uncharted. It was like a bundle thing. And I played the first Uncharted on his PS3 because he let me. And I enjoyed the game so much, and I Googled it and found out that there were, at that point, 2 other games after it. So I saved up my allowance money, and I went to a GameStop and bought a used Uncharted 2 PS3 version that I think I still have somewhere. Oh, it's in a box over here. I'll show it to you later. Actually, no, I'm going to show it to you now. I still have it. I hope. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, oops. My brother had this one. Brand new, not used. This was good. Played it, enjoyed it. Super fun game. I still love this game to this day. And then I saved up my allowance and bought this one and this one. There you go. Oh, glare. There we go. So, I bought this game. This was the first thing that I bought with my own money. And I am still a huge Uncharted fan. My brother got me an Uncharted poster that's hanging up in my room before I went to college. Yes, I've played 4. Yes, I've played... what is it? Lost Legacy. Played that one. Yes, I've seen the movie. I love Uncharted. And I have since like 7th grade. So that was the first thing I bought with my own money. What's something you want to do in the next year that you've never done before? Well, just in general, this is a funny question. I feel like the timing of this question is really good because I just graduated from college. So I won't be going to school in August, so that'll be something new. I guess in general is just doing more video projects that challenge me, that are something that I've never done before, which is easy at this point because I haven't done anything like this before. So yeah, kind of this whole channel, I'd really love to just focus on this channel this next year, which I can't completely do because I still need a job and I still need to pay the bills and all that stuff. So I don't know, specifically the channel in general. I mean, I want to continue growing it. It's been growing for, in small ways, but it has been growing. So I want to continue to grow it. And eventually I do want this to become my job, because this is something that I enjoy doing with everything in me. And I've never had anything like that in my life. So yeah, I want to focus on this. I want to focus on making videos, on doing silly things and filming it, and making music a little bit on the side, and writing for the blog a little bit on the side. Speaking of, I actually have a post that I need to write, but it's like sitting right here, but I haven't written it yet. Maybe I'll write that tomorrow. But just focusing on the channel, on the blog, on these things that I've been slowly working on. Like I said, I don't have school anymore. I'm graduated. I am not having to worry about that, not having to pay for that. So it's really just, finding a job that will give me enough freedom and enough time to work on this and still be sane, So, the channel. Seen anything lately that made you smile? Yes, today I was driving back from doing my errands, my shopping errands today, and there was a man on the corner. I was drinking my Dutch Bros coffee. I had it like right here next to me, and I passed the man on the corner, and he smiled at me. He was laughing at me because I had my coffee right here, right next to me as I was driving. So that made me smile, because I was like, he's laughing at me and my coffee, but it's fine. I really needed it. I was falling asleep earlier today. What's your favorite place you've ever visited? Well, we meaning myself and my parents, are beginning to vacation more often in Aruba. And if you don't know what Aruba is an island in the Caribbean chain of islands. It is absolutely beautiful there. You got, super white sand, super turquoise water that is always like bath water. The perfect temperature. It's never too hot there. There's always a nice ocean breeze. So that's probably one of my favorite places. And then besides that, it's really just like, okay, I got a specific one. I can't remember exactly where this is, but my cousin, who is much, much older than I am, took me backpacking for the first time when I was in high school. And I can't remember where we went, but we were near Breckenridge, Colorado. And it was probably like a 3 or 4 mile hike, but of course, my first time backpacking, so it took us the whole day because I was out of shape and such. But essentially, it was just this beautiful lake right in the mountains, right in a little like valley in the mountains, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And we spent 3 days there just hanging around, exploring the lake, and getting me used to backpacking and such, and it was amazing. So those 2 places are probably my favorites. Have you had your 15 minutes of fame yet? I don't know. I mean, our videos are doing well, but they're not the most watched things out there by any means. So I don't know. I think that's more a question for you guys than it is for me. What's the best advice you've ever heard? I don't know. Nothing's jumping to mind. But the best advice that I could give at this point is that if you're in high school, just about to start high school, or about to start college, or anywhere near there, that time, people say, okay, I guess that's the advice. People told me when I entered high school and when I entered college that the time will fly by. And I can confirm it does in fact fly by. I mean, I've graduated from college, and I feel like high school, freshman year of high school, was like 2 weeks ago. So the time really did fly incredibly fast. And it's been 8 years. It's been 8 years since I was a freshman in high school. And that time has just disappeared. And it's crazy. So really, that advice is very true. So make the most of those 8 years, because you are going to be busy. You are going to be flooded with all of these emotions and hormones, and you're trying to figure out who you are, and all of this stuff that's just mixing together, and I don't know. It's they probably won't be the best 8 years of your life, especially not the first 4, but they will get better as you get through them. So something like that. How do you like your eggs? I like to fry my eggs sunny side up, and I like my yolks runny. I actually just made eggs this morning. So yeah, I like to fry my eggs, and I like my yolks runny. Oh, so good. Do you have a favorite charity you wish more people knew about? Charity? There was one that I wrote down somewhere. Let me look that up really quick. And it was about digging wells and such in places where they don't usually have clean water. It had a specific name to it though. It was called something water, and I can't remember exactly what it was called. And I'm not finding it right now, of course. Oh, I just found a thing full of quotes. But that's okay. I gave the ones that I remember the most. And I do have a reading list on my phone too. Maybe I should read some of that. No, I can't find it. It had something to do with digging wells. Digging wells in places like Africa and other places that don't normally have access to clean water. And, of course, I've forgotten the name of it at this point, but I don't know. It just really spoke to me, you know. We here in this amazing country of America, and even in other, first or second world countries, have amazing access to clean water that we often take for granted a lot. I mean, we flush our toilets with water that could be drunken. We shower with water that could be drunked. I don't know. Consumed. We wash our hands with water. We do all sorts of things with water that could go towards making somebody not thirsty anymore. So, I don't know. It's just, it puts things in perspective, Got any phobias you'd like to break? That I'd like to break? Not particularly, because they're a phobia for a reason, I think. I don't really like spiders, but when I'm with my kids at my work, I'm okay with spiders. And I have this really weird fear of falling, but not like... If I trip and fall, I'm fine. But specifically, okay, an example. The Tower of Terror ride in Universal, wherever it is. I hate that ride because that is a phobia for me. And it's just falling. And I think it stems from my mom actually falling down the stairs with me as a baby. I think that's what it stems from. But anyways, I'm afraid of long falling. And I don't know why, but I am. I'm not afraid of heights. I can stand on the edge of a cliff and I'm fine. I'm not, I mean, I've had like rafting trips where we go to like a rock formation and we're jumping off the rock formation into the water and such. And I've done things like that. And those, I mean, they're a little nerve-wracking, but it's not like it doesn't trigger the phobia. But for some reason, specifically the Tower of Terror ride triggers that phobia. And I hate that ride so much. I haven't been on it in like 10, 15 years, but I hate that ride so much. And I'm not even afraid of stairs. I'm just, I don't know, it's falling, long falls, I guess. I don't know. But I don't want to break it necessarily because I feel like in order to break that, I would have to fall for a while, and that's just not smart. So, no. Have you returned anything you've ever purchased recently, and why? So I'm weird, and it's probably because I'm young and I haven't adulted much yet, but if I buy something that is not gonna work for me or is broken or something, and I probably should return it, I won't. I'll just I'll just like throw it away or put it like in the back of my closet or something like that. So it's kind of a waste of money, but yeah. I have had a few instances where I've ordered things that took way too long from companies that took way too long to arrive, and those I've gotten like really close to asking for a refund. I've actually threatened asking for a refund of a couple of things. One of them was buying this guy, the little, if you don't know what this is, this, sorry, I have it on autofocus, or manual focus. This is the little model nerd herder car that I purchased. It was just a white small scale car of the Toyota Yaris, the 2007 Toyota Yaris, and I bought it from a company, bought it online, and I paid extra to get it shipped faster because the car wasn't that expensive, obviously. And did not arrive when I paid for it to arrive, and actually didn't arrive for like a month or so after I had paid for it. And I emailed the company many times and threatened to ask for a refund, a full refund, because my order had not come. And then something else happened with, I was trying to make some custom patches and they just disappeared and such. Anyways, so nothing that I've bought physically in person from an actual store have I tried to return. But things that I bought online, probably because I wouldn't have to talk face to face with anybody, I have come very close to returning or asking for a refund. Do you collect anything? Camera stuff? I like shoes. I don't know if you could call it collecting shoes, though. I also like flannels, if you haven't noticed. And I don't know if you can call that collecting flannels, but I do like flannels, and anytime I visit a thrift store or any sort of store and they have a nice flannel, I am very tempted to buy it and have bought it before. Especially if it's a thrift store, because they're usually a lot cheaper and in really good shape, generally speaking. So I guess flannels, kind of shoes. I like keychains. Usually whenever we go on vacation, I'll get like keychains or something as like a gift store buy and such. And I actually have a few of them strung up over here. I'm not going to move the camera because it's too difficult to get back in that spot. But just know that there are some keychains hanging up here on a piece of twine. So I guess keychains, I don't know, any other little small knickknacks and such that aren't too expensive. I don't really collect just one thing, because my artistic tastes change from time to time. So, what's your favorite breakfast cereal? I like Life cereal, specifically the cinnamon Life cereal, because it's good. I had it one time as a kid, so my parents are the parents who won't let me eat a ton of sugar, or did not let me eat a ton of sugar. Not to say that I don't now. I do. But at one point, it was a special occasion, and it was because they were out of the regular Life cereal. My mom bought me the cinnamon Life cereal, and oh my goodness. Ooh, that stuff is good. That stuff is really good. And then I guess the close second would be Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds. That's pretty good. I don't really eat cereal much anymore. I don't know. Just don't really. I guess my taste buds have changed. I don't really enjoy cereal that much anymore. And that was the last question. So, I hope you all got to know me a little bit better, at least. If you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask me, go ahead and leave those down in the description. I'll see if I can answer them either in a reply, or maybe if there are enough, I'll just make another video where I answer some of your questions. But yeah, those were 25 icebreaker questions. And I don't know when the next video is going to be. I am decently close to buying a more powerful computer. I just have to do a bit more research, which I need time for, and I'm rather short on time at the moment, but that's okay. And there are a few projects that I'm currently working on. There are a few. So be looking out for those. Don't know when they're coming, but hopefully soon. And I'll see you all in the next video. I hope to get back to playing some video games. I miss video games. There are a few games that I've found that I really want to play for you all. So those will happen again. I just need to get the right equipment for it. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.